XOXO, got the girl. Pose. Good morrow and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but certainly I'm glad you came. And if you are new here, well, you're in for a treat. All right, if you enjoy chaotic, frenetic energy and controversy, then I suggest you go ahead and subscribe because now is as good a time as any. You can get in on the ground floor. That got weird. All right, what are we here with today, Audra? Well, first of all, I've got to get my headphones, but we'll be right back. Okay. That's better. So sorry. As soon as I started singing, I was like, why is everything so fucking loud? I mean, I know I'm loud, but anywhoozits. What we are here with today is as full a face as I can do of controversial makeup. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this is because, one, it's who I am as a person, but I really wanted to kind of bring forth the idea that, like, just because you have these brands doesn't make you a terrible person, because if you bought them prior to the controversy, you can still use it and you should be able to. I did a video similar to this, more talking about makeup that I have that is controversial, but I actually want to go through, do a full face, kind of talk a little bit about the controversy, and we're gonna hang out. So I already have my eye base on, and I put on my primer because I don't have anything controversial in those realms. So let's get started. All right, so for my eyes, I will be using Give Me Glow, and Give Me Glow has gotten into a bit of controversy, and a lot of it was surrounding how they were paying Black creators, or rather not paying, and wanting free swatches or very inexpensive swatches, which was problematic because they were not doing the same to non-persons of color. Like, if you weren't a person of color, you were getting a better deal, and it was quite problematic. And my girl Tina of the Fancy Face is the one who really broke that and called out the brand for having done this. They seem to be finally doing better, which is good, and so I am willing to continue giving them a try. Specifically, one of the reasons I'm willing to give them a try and try to move forward is because of the fact that, one, I am a Black person, and buying makeup as a Black person, it can be difficult, especially if you were a Black person on the internet, because people continuously expect us to be the guard dogs, the attack dogs, every time a brand isn't doing what they're supposed to. And honestly, a lot of us are sick of it, which is another reason why I did want to go ahead and do this video, because I did also want to touch on that, and that, you know, please stop tagging Black creators to be your attack dogs every time a brand is doing something, because first of all, a lot of y'all don't listen to us anyway. Like, not y'all, my folks, but like a lot of people don't listen to us anyway. So it's like, call your white influencers and ask them. This isn't me being mean or nasty to them. I'm just saying, call them and ask them, because we shouldn't have to continuously be the attack dogs for this, and you won't listen to us. And then in the end, it's very annoying that we even bothered with it for y'all to not listen to us and wait for the white creator of your choice to say the exact same thing. So, you know, that's a thing. It's also why I don't necessarily trust a lot of white influencers, but we'll get there another day. So, that being said, Give Me Glow does have very nice shades, and I enjoy playing with their makeup. It's a fun time for me, and I am on the I'm going to see how they behave fence, you know what I mean? I really like these mattes. They do take a little bit of work, I'm not gonna lie there. They do take quite a bit of work to kind of, I'm not even gonna say a little bit. They do take quite a bit of work, but they're also pigments, so that's a little different. Like, anytime you're fussing with pigments, it is gonna be different than when you're just messing with like a regular eyeshadow palette. So that's a thing. But overall, I am willing to give them a try because, one, I actually really do like their formula. It is fun for me. It's a good time. And two, I feel like at least they've heard what we've had to say, and it looks like they are trying to make changes. So if you have Give Me Glow, you know, keep living your best life. And just a quick aside for those of y'all that don't know Give Me Glow. Give Me Glow is an indie brand, and that's another reason I want to, try to give them a chance to do better, because I do love my indie makeup, and I love their single shadows. And my friend Teresa really likes one of their palettes, the Vintage Rose, I believe, which I don't have and would love to try, but we'll see. That'll be one day. When I get gainfully employed, I will reward myself, I think, with such a thing if I can. And that is that on that. Next up, in controversial brands, we have e.l.f. I will be using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. And for those of y'all, because I've seen some of y'all in the comments being like, wait, what happened with e.l.f.? So here's what happened. I feel like it was a month ago. It could have been sooner. It could have been further away. Time is relative. Who knows? But a while ago, they put out a call, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna start our Twitch channel, and we would love it if you would tag some double threats, people who create beauty content and are also gamers. By the way, thank you to everyone who tagged me in that, because I truly appreciate you seeing me as both. Like, thank you." And so, like myself, many other creators of color and beauty boys were tagged, Josh Killer King being one of them. And all of that for them to have their Twitch channel be dominated by, to celebrate starting their Twitch channel, be dominated by all white females, was a bit of a slap in the face. Not just to the creators, but also to all of the people who tagged their faves. Because they're sitting there, like, a lot of people were sitting there like, wait a minute, I don't even know who this person is. I didn't tag them. And you could see, the tag, like, whatnot, and people were like, okay, what's going on? Especially if you saw some of your faves get tagged more than once. It seemed very obvious to everyone that e.l.f. went out of their way to not include people of color. On top of that, I do, and I don't want to get this wrong, but my understanding is that one creator who was a part of the stream then was on their own stream and had the audacity to be making fun of people who were upset about it. And really, e.l.f. did nothing about that either. So currently, e.l.f. is on the shit list with a lot of us, because we're just looking at them like, oh, we see now. We are not a priority. Got it. And it's those kinds of PR stunts, which I'm more and more getting to where I'm just like, you know what? If brands ask for shit, unless they're like an indie brand that I associate with, or, like Drench Cosmetics, Midas, Nomad, if they're not brands that I associate with, please just don't tag me, because I have reached a stage now with these brands where I'm like, oh, so you're also going to use black outrage as a marketing tactic. I'm tired of giving them that attention. So you know what, if ABH says that they're looking for creators of color, not on this planet, but if they did, please don't tag me. I'm fine. I don't need all that smoke. I don't need all that mess in my life. Just let me live my best life. These are like different shapes, but let me see if I can just kind of get this one. That'll work. That's gonna work for me. That's where we are now. Who cares? Howsoever, I actually really do enjoy this concealer, and despite all of the bullshit e.l.f. has done, I don't ever expect to represent the brand in any actual way. So more often than not, I will continue to use the concealer, but I won't tag it. It'll go amongst many of my other brands that I have, but I'm not gonna tag, because not today, hoes. Side note, e.l.f.'s response was, as predicted, hot garbage, if you can call it a response. Next up, we're gonna be talking about Hank Henry, who notoriously has said and done some really racist ass shit. But they do make this bomb ass eyeliner, and the thing about the beauty world is no matter when you get into it, there's always gonna be shit you didn't know about a brand. And I didn't know that they had a history of this, so like that was kind of sucky. But like also, I really like these eyeliners because I can make a very intense line with these. And I feel like quite often there's a lot of people who will consistently say like some one brand or another is trash, and kind of forget that like everybody doesn't follow brands the way we all do, you know what I mean? Like there are always going to be people new to beauty YouTube. And so I feel like it's kind of important to like make sure that people don't feel small or feel like they've done something wrong by purchasing a brand. Ooh, that's going to be interesting, especially when they just simply didn't know. You know what I mean? Like people are like, oh, I told y'all this brand been shit. And it's like, okay, well, a lot of people just didn't know that. And we have to keep in mind that like everybody doesn't keep an eye on every single brand and what they're doing like every second of the day. So this like whole burn the witch mentality, we can take that down a couple of notches, I think. And also take into account the time and effort it takes to like find a new, these are gonna be, this whole look's gonna be crooked and you're gonna deal with it. But yeah, I didn't know that about Hank and Henry and their past, and I had already purchased quite a bit. Good thing that their eyeshadow palette was hot garbage, so I was able to like declutter that, but that was a situation. We are gonna just kind of very gently, because we kind of went in hard with that, I am going to kind of very gently tap this into right here. And like this is your, notification that you shouldn't continue to feel guilt because you spent money on this makeup. Like you bought this makeup. You spent your hard-earned coin on this makeup. And with that being the case, surely you should get to use it. I am pro use it, don't throw it away, or if you want to donate it, that's up to you. But I'm just saying, you have every right to continue using makeup that you own. You bought it, you should get to own it. You should get to use it. It does no good. The company already has your money. So throwing it away doesn't like do anything. It's just like wasteful at this point. So I should know I've done some dumb wasteful ass shit, so like leave me alone. I know the things I've done. All right, so next up I'm going to be using the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation, which is hard to say, honestly. Hourglass, oh Hourglass. So we've been knowing that Hourglass does not care for brown folk. We've known this, right? I'm going to move this back and hopefully I won't irritate myself. We have known that for a very long time. We're like, yeah, Hourglass hates us. Here's the thing. It wasn't even that they weren't making products for us because, they weren't. That wasn't even like the final straw. Because we knew that they weren't doing it, and like on occasion they would show up and be like, oh, we made something for you, darkies, and we were like, oh, thanks. But the thing was, the final straw is that they had I can't remember, I feel like it was a highlighter palette, and they released it. And the fun thing about releasing this palette was that they photographed it in such a way as to make it look like they were giving two shits about people of color. So this is why it was such a huge slap in the face and why so many were angry. It wasn't even that they didn't, they don't provide representation for us, because they don't, but we were used to that. We knew that that was going to be the case, and we were all right with it. We're like, yeah, they don't make shit for us. But then it looked like they did, and surprise, they didn't. It was trick photography, and what you ended up having was a large amount of deep-skinned folks who purchased those thinking, yes, they finally came for us, they care about us, they listened. Ha 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 ha. It was lies. And then they showed up in the mail. Like that's really where we are. Like then it showed up in the mail and it was like, oh no. And it wasn't the best feeling for most. I'm gonna definitely say that. Most people were just like, what the fuck? You really couldn't have, like, I felt like a lot of us were just like, you really couldn't have just like not done that. And it was rude. Now, there have been some creators, white creators, who have boycotted them. However, what I would say is if you are deeper complected, you have this foundation, is the foundation that works for you, and you're going to continue to buy it. You do you, boo, because listen, first of all, that's pricey as shit. So, you know, I wish I had a bag like yours. But but the other thing of it too is we have to remember that people find products that work for them, and it's a bit of a process for a lot of us. Like, you're out here trying to find products that work for you, and when you find something, and it sucks, but like that's kind of what it is. Like, you find something that works and you're like, yeah, this is the thing that's going to work for me. And I can't get mad at you for that. I can't yell at you and scream at you and tell you you're a piece of shit. Now, when it comes to eyeliner on the bottom, I don't have anything for that, so we're just gonna move on. All right, now we're gonna hit that blush life. I have a blush palette from Ofra. So for those of you that don't know, this is what it looks like now, BT dubs. I put some stickers on it and it's quite nice. If you don't know, which some of you don't know, and that is okay. No, you have not been living underneath a rock. You are fine. Not everybody, like I said previously, is immersed in every aspect of the beauty world, and more power to you. You know, of course, I would just like do what I just did there, but anyways, we'll fix it in a minute. The point is, with Ofra, it was discovered that the owner's husband, I believe, is a Trump supporter and has been regularly donating money to the Trump campaign. I feel like it was as early as 2020 or as late as 2020, as early as 2020. I don't know. I don't know the phrasing. Anywho, that spawned a lot of issues and situations for folks, which again goes to show, here's the thing about being an influencer and following an influencer is they are not your moral compass as much as you'd like them to be. They are just human beings. We are human beings. We are not expected to be the ones to tell you whether or not you should or shouldn't be involved with a brand. Like, it's nice when people say how they feel, right? But like, it's fine. If you don't agree, that's fine too. Like, you don't have to be, 100% fine with it. You could be someone who, just doesn't want makeup to be political because of who you voted for. But for a lot of people, it very much is. And so that being the case, many people were upset and are withdrawing their support from Ofra. I'm not sure if they'll be able to survive this whole thing because it is a very heavily influencer-led brand. I just don't see people going out of their way to like just buy Ofra. I've never seen like an Ofra haul from somebody who just like bought Ofra, like where it wasn't PR, myself included. So I don't know what we're gonna do about all that. And side note, if you still have your Ofra things, stickers work really well on the covers. So there you go. For bronzer, I'm gonna be using Juvia's Place. Now, Juvia's Place, they have a couple of issues that have plagued them. One of them is that a lot of people feel like as soon as Juvia's Place got the approval of big white influencers or non-black influencers, they abandoned any and all of their black creators, which isn't true because I have seen other black creators getting PR from Juvia's Place. Once again, my friend Tina comes into play there, as well as I believe Petty Page does sponsorships and things with them as well. So there's that. But also the biggest thing is that Chi Chi seems to run her mouth a little bit, which is the owner, and it can be a little off-putting. To me, it's not even so much that it's off-putting, it's just that it's like, please stop airing business like that should be inside the house, outside the house. And so that's that. But I am still going to continue to buy from Juvia's Place. It is a black owned brand. I appreciate that. And honestly, we tend to cancel black makeup brands very, very quickly over the smallest things, as well as black creators. So I'm not going to have that kind of energy. I'm going to have the kind of energy that many people had for Jeffree Star, right? Right. I'm just going to keep liking my brand, and that's what we're going to do. Just kidding. I should cut that, but probably not. Probably not. All right. For highlighter, we have Too Faced. This is the Canary Diamond highlighter. And for Too Faced, there was a multitude of things that went wrong, but one of the biggest was that Jared Blandino had, is that his name? Why do I know that? That upsets my, like, I'm saying this, this is from my memory, y'all. This is upsetting. Anyways, moving on. But had a cake that said Rich Lives Matter in the midst of all this mess. And, you know, it was messy. And especially a lot of people expected Jackie, who was working with Too Faced at the time, to like say something, you know? They're like, Jackie, you're super silent. You know, what's interesting about what happened with Ofra is like, now everybody suddenly understands about contracts, but back then, this is what I'm saying. Just fill in the dots, because now suddenly that it's largely white creators with Ofra being affected. We have all this shit to say about contracts, which I was saying then anyway, just FYI. But nobody was talking about it when it was on Jackie's back. It was like, you gonna say anything, Jackie? Whilst I continue the conversation, I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows because I want to. I don't have anything controversial for that because I hate all of the ABH brow products. I'm sorry. All of them that I've tried so far are just, I don't like them. I have said this multiple times. I have very sparse eyebrows, as you can clearly see. I have a lot of eyebrow here. What's here? Nothing. And you know what I'm not gonna do ever in my lifetime? I am 41 years old and it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna draw on eyebrows like that. I'm just not gonna draw each individual hair. I don't have the patience for that. I would really, at this point, I would rather like eat dirt that Bo has pissed on than draw individual hairs. Like, that's how strongly I feel about it. Like, I don't want to do that. That's way more work than I'm willing to invest in eyebrows. You know what I mean? Like, y'all remember when everybody was carving their eyebrows the fuck out? I'm not living that life. Any who's-its. So the issue with Too Faced, of course, was that like Black Lives Matter was still a thing even at that time, and he, you know, seemed to be very much mocking it, but being like, hey, I'm a rich white guy and rich lives matter. So this is once again your friendly reminder that influencers get treated differently based on their what? Skin color, yeah. For mascara, I'm actually going back with Hank and Henry because I foolishly bought quite a bit of stuff during a sale and now I feel, well, foolish. And also, just a side note, like, can someone please tell me why ain't nothing but, I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. But yeah, now that I'm just about done with this look, I just wanted to do this because one, again, I don't want people to feel shame for the makeup that they have in their collection. You are allowed to use it, it's yours, you bought it. Two, influencers are not infallible. People make mistakes, and whether or not you agree with the mistakes that they've made is up to you. You can choose to forgive if you want to, even if it's not your apology to accept. You can still move forward with whomever you choose, but just keep in mind that just because some of your faves don't like your other faves, it doesn't mean that you have to be mean, nasty, or hateful to any of these people in their comments. People can disagree on makeup, and makeup will and is always going to be political for varying reasons, but especially when you are a person of color, it makes it even more difficult, which is why I feel very confident in saying I am not alone in Black influencers in the beauty space, and as well as probably influencers from marginalized groups such as the LGBTQI+ community, who are just about done being the attack dogs every time these things happen. We want to have fun too. We want to play, enjoy our makeup, and we want it to be a fun time. I'm gonna go put on, oh my God, I'm so dewy, y'all. Like, I am living for it. Like, I know that some of y'all are like, Audra, you're greasy. You're damn right I'm greasy. I'm gonna go put on a lip because I don't feel like I have, oh, I do, please hold. For my lip, I have the Tarte Berry Mojito is the shade. Tarte famously capitalized on Black outrage way back in the day by releasing their foundation. I feel like it was the Shape Tape foundation, wasn't it? Can't remember. But they did this release, and fun fact about said release, it was very white, all right, like super white. And the interesting thing about all of this was their response to come back to it was, well, we're gonna release some more shades, I believe, like in the summer or something, like as if everybody was suddenly going to be dark at that point in time. Howsoever, even prior to that, I feel like Tarte did get a reputation for not really having an inclusive shade range, although I regularly use their Amazonian Clay foundation for a time. I don't wear it anymore because it's very dry, but here we are. So now this is the final look of controversial makeup. What you think? We're gonna come in, be weird, be slow. Let's go. All right, that is it. That is the video. This is my full face of controversy. Controversy? Controversy. Is that how people say it in the UK? Controversy. I don't know. I'm just making things up at this point. And all of that to say, one, remember, your influencers are fallible. We are human beings. We can make mistakes. And if you don't want to forgive someone, you don't have to, but also don't come after people who continue to like support them. That's just a level of pettiness we don't need to have, and honestly, it just changes the conversation from the real issue, and we don't want to be bullying and attacking people online. That's just not a level of shittiness that I'm really willing to go to. And yeah, just enjoy your makeup. Enjoy the makeup you have. If you got it, wear it, own it, flaunt it, and stop feeling guilty. Again, I'm probably gonna do this shit every year. And I'm gonna, around this time every year, I'm gonna be like, stop fucking feeling guilty for your makeup. All right, if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor, give it a big thumbs up so that way the algorithm goddess can continue pushing me down in the algorithm and I can do whatever the fuck I want to. And as usual, huge shout out to my patrons and spooky bays, yeah. Without y'all, I would not be able to keep the bats in the belfry and, of course, the spiders in their webs. And as usual, it costs $0 to be kind. It's so good for your soul, because if you don't take care of it, I'm sure as fuck coming for yours. And I seriously and sincerely mean that. I already have the candles burning for you, babe. Until next time, XOXO. Gothic girl. Confession, my friend. This got messy really fast, but we will fix it, I think, maybe. Were you born to resist? Be abused. We got shit going everywhere. Is someone getting the best, the best, the best, the best of you? Are you going on to someone new? I must confess, is someone getting the best, the best?